Hey guys, welcome back to another one. Recently, a friend of mine on Facebook sent me a picture of a pattern he had with number 4 buck, and I asked him, hey, do you care if I make a video on this? He said, sure, go for it. So, what we've got here, well, what's going to be a really good number 4 buck shell. The components this time are pretty simple, like usual. 3-inch Shadot hull, brand new primed. We're using this stuff right here, 33. The Precision Reloading TUPRW123 wad, the 3-inch 12-gauge wad, or the red wad, whatever you want to call it. For a filler in this one, we're using a 24-gauge nitro card. Why 24-gauge? Because it actually fits these like it's made for it. The 20-gauge ones, they fit too, but they're a little bit tight. You can get these more into the bottom of that wad. I don't know if you guys saw that, the electricities. And it seats very firm. I've had good luck with them, so that's what we're using. After that, we're using 32 pellets of number 4 buck. And then we're going to hit that with some, where is it, right here, number 47 buffer. So like I was saying, this one is fairly simple. There's not a ton of components in here, but it's a little bit more advanced than powder wad shot crimp. Before we get this started, I'll throw up a picture right here of his pattern. It was at 35 yards with a 660 diameter choke. So as you can see, he had a really good pattern at 35 yards with basically a turkey choke. We have obviously found that turkey chokes work really well for number 4 buck. But without further ado, let's get this started. There's that. Now, our wad. And when you put this in, you'll notice stack height is a little bit tall. I would suggest roll crimping this, but you can fold crimp it too. I actually have one right here. You can see we do have a really good crimp on it, if this thing would focus. There. Well, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. But you can see this wad in here does look really cool. It makes the clear hull look like it's orange, kinda. I don't know. But after that, like I was saying, 24-gauge nitro card. If you have 20, it'll work just fine too. We're going to get that a little bit of pressure. And yes, the 12-gauge press does pull the wad off, but still, our nitro card is in place. It's not stuck on there or anything. It's just a little bit of a tight fit. And there you go. Now we're ready for pellets. So 32 pellets of number 4 buck. This is 24 cal number 4 buck, by the way. Weighs 1.52 ounces. That is 1/10 of an ounce under 1 5/8. If you add buffer, it's going to bring it closer to 1 5/8, but still not quite. You'll be a little bit shy, but still you can call it a 1 5/8 ounce load if you want to. But we are ready for buffer, and this one does not need an overshot card. That's due to the kind of high stack height. We're using mix number 47 because I have very little of it left, and I need to use it up so I can get some more. Alright, we have our buffer in place. Now, I should have said this earlier, but if you're planning on fold crimping this, you really do need at least a GOT BN2 or some sort of crimp finisher, because without it, this is going to be really hard to close up. The Rebacitor does help too, but let's give this the old pre-crimp. I should have it right there, and it does. Pre-crimp looks awesome. Now, the Rebacitor, we now have a good crease right there. Give it the final crimp, and then we'll have to hit this with the BN2 or BN3, BN4, whatever you have, because this is about as good as you're going to get it with the final crimp on a press, but the BN2 will take care of that. Alright, and here it is after the BN2. You can see the crimp is deeper set now. That thing actually kind of burns the plastic into shape. It can't pop back open, and you can't see it because the clear hull. We do have a little bit of a taper on here, so this shell's good to go. This one here has no buffer in it. I loaded it yesterday, and as you can see, it is not even remotely close to popping open. There's one thing I forgot to do, and that was a 1-inch square piece of paper towel or napkin underneath the wad, because these are kind of undersized. The powder is migrating just a little bit, but that's not going to hurt anything. I did forget to put the paper towel in it though, as he did. That's a Wade Rush trick, so you guys might want to do that. I think that's going to end this one here. Please like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you. And if you want to, go check out our Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month, and you guys get early access to content. A link to that, as well as a link to our Instagram, Rumble, and merch store will be in the description below. But other than that, you guys take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.